Hello, my name is Jessica Wade, and I'm a realtor with Brokerage Atlanta. And embarking on purchasing a home can be an incredibly overwhelming and stressful process. And I don't want you to feel that stress of the home buying process. I want to be there to help coach you through the process. I'm going to make it fun and enjoyable. I have hundreds of transactions under my belt, and I'm going to go through this and share all of the skills and lessons that I've learned along the way to make your journey as seamless and easy as possible. So when you first call me and you say, I want to buy a home, I'm going to sit down with you. We're going to do our home buyer consultation. I have this amazing guide that I give to you. It's called the Home Buying Process, and we're going to go through it in great detail. I want you to be educated on the front end about every hurdle we may or may not encounter as we embark on this journey. Some of the highlights of this is the timeline. People ask, how long does it take to buy a home? So I'm going to go through that, and I'm going to say, this is what the timeline's going to look like. It takes about 30 to 45 days to purchase a home, just so you know, but there are lots of other factors. Also, a lot of times I'm going to be using a lot of words that you've never heard before. So I have these definitions right here for you to refer back to at any time. So this guide is going to be given to you. I'm going to be available for all the questions that you may have that come up along the process, and I'm just going to do what I can to make this as easy and as fun as possible. One of the most asked questions I get is, how much is it going to cost me to purchase a home? And so I'm going to go real quickly over the actual costs in my home buyer guide and just kind of give you an idea of what you need to consider when you decide to embark on a home buying process. Your earnest money deposit. So an earnest money deposit is a good faith estimate that you do plan on purchasing the property. Typically, I say 1 to 2% of the purchase price is going to be the earnest money deposit. That deposit's going to be given to the closing attorney within 3 days of a binding agreement, and it will be deposited but credited back to you at closing. The other is the down payment. That's going to be a question you're going to work with your lender. Depending on the loan type you qualify for, that's going to determine which is your down payment amount. We do have 100% loans, which means that down payment amount is going to be 0. But it's important to talk to the lender and really understand what that down payment amount is going to be. Then we have the home inspection cost. So I do encourage all of my buyers to have a home inspection done after we go under contract. This is to ensure that the home is going to be structurally sound, the electrical components are good. They're just going to go through the entire home and make sure that everything is operating as it should. The home inspection is going to be determined based on the company you use and the size of your home. So anywhere between $300 and $500 is what I would say budget for the home inspection. The next number is the appraisal. So that's going to be a number you'll work with your lender on. They're going to determine what appraiser will be used and if you're going to need a rush appraisal. So those are going to factor into that. But I would say budget between $400 and $600 for the appraisal. And then your closing costs. Again, that's a number you're going to work really closely with your lender on. They're going to help you determine what the closing cost for your particular loan program is going to be. And we may even be able to get the seller to contribute to the amount of closing costs you need. So these are going to be the overall numbers that you're going to need before we embark on the home buying process. So a lot of times people are going to ask me, what is the timeline? And again, in this little handy dandy home buying process guide, I go over the timeline. The first step is to reach out to me. Let me know you're interested in buying a home. Then I'm going to have you talk to a lender. We're going to go through the mortgage pre-qualification process. That's a fairly easy step. You're going to go online, fill out an application, send some documents to the lender, and then they're going to let you know what you're going to be pre-approved for. Then we're going to set up some instant e-alerts, and we're going to start looking at houses. We are going to possibly make an offer, and then we're going to negotiate the offer, and we're going to manage all the details. I'm gonna help you decide when it's time to order an appraisal, when it's time to order the home inspection, and then closing, and then you're done. So that's a huge overview of the process. And then on this side, I'm gonna go through and just show you some of the dates as they pertain to once you are under contract. That's once you've made an offer and once the seller has accepted your offer. So day one is our binding agreement date. You are officially under contract. Then your earnest money is typically due within 3 days of the binding agreement date. Then we have our due diligence period. That's a negotiable item. We do between 7 and 10 days. That allows you to have that home inspection and do any further negotiations with the seller. Then we have the loan contingency. That's gonna be between 15 and 25 days. That's when the lender is gonna verify every bit of information you have provided them. You are going to be a little overwhelmed by that process, but remember, you are being given a large amount of money to purchase a home. So just be patient with the lender, provide the documents when they ask them. The sooner you provide, the sooner we can get through to the next step. And then we're gonna go ahead. If you have a home to sell, then we're gonna work through that contingency as well. And if you don't, we're gonna do our final walkthrough just before closing. We're gonna make sure the house looks like it did when you first looked at it. Everything is cleaned out and ready to go. And then on day 30 to day 45, you own the home. You will be given the keys and that home will be yours. So that's an overview of the home buying process. But just remember, the first step is to reach out to me. I'm gonna do my best to get you into a place where you're ready to go. We're gonna go over your wants, your needs, your timeline, your budget, and we're gonna put all of that together to make the home buying process as seamless and as fun as possible.